Hello, Chippewa Falls High School band family. My name is Michael Renicky, and I'm one of the instrumental music teachers at Chippewa Falls High School in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. This video update is geared towards the parents of students currently enrolled in our band program at the high school as a way for us to share with you some of the awesome things that are going on in our classroom, as well as give you some ideas about things you can do with your students maybe at home to help continue their learning. The two things we're going to be talking about today are ear reading and the lesson kickoff. And we'd like to start with something we've been doing in our rehearsals during our warm-ups, and we like to call it ear reading. What is ear reading? Ear reading is when students are performing familiar melodies on their instruments. It's something you've probably heard of before, but perhaps by another name, such as playing by ear. The reason that we don't call it playing by ear is because that suggests there's really only one action going on, which is the act of playing. We like to think of it as ear reading because we're actually doing two pretty specific things. First, students are thinking very rapidly, trying to play and translate familiar melodies right on the fly. And the other, perhaps more important thing that they're doing is they're picturing the music in their head. They need to actually be seeing in their mind the lines of a staff with the notes drawn on it. They are creating the rhythms, they're drawing the notes, they're adding the accidentals, and they're doing all of this at the exact same time. One of the best ways to develop this skill is to use it. And so here are some ideas for ways that you can work together with your students at home on growing this skill. Pick a tune or two, or maybe your family has some other favorite songs from growing up or really long car rides that aren't on this list, and have your student try and play them in a variety of keys. Some easy keys to start with might be C, F, and B flat. For more of a challenge, you can certainly try a few of the other keys, or if you're feeling particularly dangerous, go ahead and take on the key of B major. But all that your student needs to do is, let's say we pick Old MacDonald. You choose a key, they try and play Old MacDonald on the fly. You're going to hear some wrong notes, you're going to hear some interesting rhythms, but the point is that they're trying. And while they're doing this, in their mind, they need to be thinking of the visualization, actually seeing the notes. A really cool thing that maybe you want to do after doing this a couple times is record yourself. Maybe just your student, maybe your family. Record yourself playing some of your favorite tunes and share it with us on our Facebook page. I think there's some pretty creative students out there who might come up with some cool ideas. Second item we'd like to talk to you about is that we also are beginning to work with students in lessons during class. What this looks like is your student has been arranged into a small ensemble for lessons. These small groups meet every 8 school days, depending on the school calendar and other sorts of interruptions like snow days. You can ask your student about what they are working on in their small ensemble for lessons. Depending on when you watch this video, it is possible that they haven't had their first lesson yet. We believe very strongly in small ensembles, and there's a good amount of background in the music education community that points to small ensembles being one of the best things for developing musicians. There are some pretty specific skills that we focus on developing in our musicians during small ensemble lessons, in addition to the musical independence and confidence that students develop as individual musicians through the small ensemble process. There's a variety of studies that have shown that students who receive specialized music instruction, known more commonly as private lessons during the school day, do not experience an adverse effect on their academic performance and in fact perform better on standardized tests. But that's another video. Thank you so much. I hope this has been an informative look at a couple of the things that have been going on in our classroom. Send me an email with your questions and ideas. I'd love to hear about the cool things your student is doing with music at home or outside the school day, or perhaps things that you and your student have done together. If you'd like to take a closer look at the information in this presentation, you can certainly find a copy with clickable links on our band website at www.cfhsbands.org.